to Biotech Talk, your one-stop show for all the tidbits from the biomedical industry, powered by Leader Life Sciences. This is episode 4, and I'm Malavika Kanara, your host. Today we have a very special guest, and I've known her for quite a while, and we've been working together for a while. She's a very young biotechnologist with power pack of knowledge, worked in a lab itself, and comes with ample amount of experience. It's really great to have you here, Miss Divya V.
Hi, Malo. Thanks for having me here today. First of all, I'm quite taken aback by this unusual display of niceness that you're showing me today.
we usually have a lot of banter back and forth in our work, this thing, and she's taken it quite personally, I feel.
So should I pretend to be flattered now?
You
with all the
have to
niceness?
be flattered. I didn't say anything unreal or untruth here, but I really have a lot of respect for Divya because how she came with a lot of bundle of knowledge, and she's always up for a lot of content specific needs of mine. And I always have very pleasant conversations related to any topic of lab automation, or be it lab automation, pathology, or anything. So that's why I figured you'll be an amazing guest to talk about today's discussion, which is from slide to screen, the evolution of digital pathology, your baby at Leader Life Sciences, I would say.
Thanks for that, Malo. Now I'm truly flattered. And also, I'd like to take this moment, to acknowledge the kind of creativity that you bring into exploring scientific topics and having us involved in such engaging discussions. We should give it to you for that. Kudos to that girl.
Of course. So, yeah, we have 10 minutes now to discuss the topic that we set. And in 10 minutes, we'll address and, dissect this topic. Yeah, ready?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. So, let's begin with one of the conversation, because the previous episode we really addressed histopathology and diagnostics aspect and of it, everything. So do you think how is it actually different? Digital pathology, how is it actually different from histopathology and or conventional pathology, let's say? And do you think it will replace conventional pathology in any sense? What are your thoughts?
Okay, we'll address this one question at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So just a brief overview of what is digital pathology. In simple terms, digital pathology is a dual technology.
Okay.
It's 2 in 1. We have digital photography and microscopy. It's as simple as that. Actually speaking, the concept of digital pathology started off with telepathology, having the ability to do pathology remotely. And that's how it all kick-started. Having said that, digital pathology did not start off as digital at all.
Okay.
It began in an analog format. So
Really?
when we say analog formats, we're talking about conventional microscopy, dating back to the 17th and the 18th century, where pathologists were looking at the intricate details of a tissue under a conventional microscope.
Okay.
So fast forward to 2024, with all the advancements in healthcare technologies and imaging, we are here talking about whole slide imaging systems, fast scanning rates,
Yes.
and having the access globally to diagnosis. So that's the background of digital pathology. And your second question about how different is digital pathology from conventional pathology, and will digital pathology replace conventional pathology? It's unlikely that digital pathology will fully replace conventional pathology in the near future, because digital pathology can only significantly transform and complement the existing pathology workflow.
Okay.
So when I say complement and enhance the conventional pathology workflow, so we're talking about faster diagnosis, accurate diagnosis, and precise diagnosis. And to complement all of this, we're leveraging the advancements in AI and integrating the concept of AI into digital pathology.
So it's more like an extension of...
It's more of an extension, we would say, because the concept of digital pathology is data-driven.
Okay.
With easy access to data. So digital pathology is most likely to work in tandem with conventional pathology rather than outrightly replacing it.
Okay. When you say data-driven, like there's a lot of data compilation that's happening, and especially with the slides and everything. So how would that application be in a clinical or a research sector in this industry?
So we've already spoken about how digital pathology enhances clinical diagnostic practices.
Okay.
Rightfully speaking, digital pathology has fundamentally changed the approach to conventional medical practice.
Okay.
So digital pathology is no more looked at as a niche practice, but it is actually a central platform for modern diagnostic approach.
Okay.
And digitizing glass slides or having digitized data gives you access to a larger data set. So in that case, this is not only an advantage for clinical settings, not only does it drive precise and accurate diagnosis, but it also is a great platform in terms of research and education because you're curating a biorepository of pathological images, giving students the exposure to a broader spectrum of diseases, which means they are exposed to different morphologies, different tissue types, and different disease variations. And this gives them gain knowledge,
of course,
and expertise. And also digitizing glass slides or digitizing data then again creates a platform for researchers, for groundbreaking research opportunities in terms of biomarker discovery and targeted therapies. Because globally, all the medical initiatives are directed towards precision medicine. And digital pathology, I would say, is the cornerstone for precision medicine.
That's true. Like, I think precision medicine is a very large topic that I think is being addressed by a lot of our speakers.
Yes, yeah.
And I think it's a very key topic to the region itself. So I think one of the questions another question I would have is basically, how does these technologies really address the challenge of time, the essence of timely diagnosis, or having, like, we are following a path towards precise and accurate, but does also it's also necessary to be time effective, right?
Yeah.
So how would these technologies address that?
Adopting any medical technology for that matter should address the concerns of time and efficiency.
Of course.
And also variability of interpreting data. And that's exactly what digital pathology has been doing with time. So when we say digital pathology, we're talking about faster diagnosis, accurate diagnosis, and precise diagnosis. Like how we say people are just a phone call away.
Yeah.
Nowadays, diagnosis is only a link away.
Wow.
Because behind every slide, every diagnosis is a patient awaiting the results.
Yeah.
And as I always say, pathology is a fundamental underpinnings of basic medicine. And as you would hear from any medical expert or any physician, a person is not diagnosed with cancer unless a pathologist says so. Yeah.
That's very nicely put, actually. That having that patient behind the slide is what the technologies need to be inspired to have the innovations come forth on it, because the patients are behind the slides.
And crucial.
And very crucial.
And it's very crucial. And time is a very crucial consideration when we're talking about digitization.
Yeah.
So we're not just talking about faster image acquisition, but we're also talking about rapid access to the slides, to the images that are archived, and also retrieving these images on time.
Yeah.
Because when we go and have discussions with experts in the field, we'd say that, so they once told us that gone are those days where we used to wait for days to prepare for tumor board meetings, because they have to go and physically pull out the slides and look at those images to report them in front of the tumor board. But nowadays, all of that happens in under 10 minutes.
Wow. That tumor is a patient awaiting over there. So
yes, it's a life and death issue.
Life and death issue. That's clearly fascinating. So how easily is this technology adoptable, and how important would you say collaboration is in it, and who all should be collaborating to make this happen, especially if you can talk more specifically to this region?
In terms of the advantages in general about digital pathology, to adopt the concept of digital pathology, collaboration is key. So when I say collaboration is key, we're talking about interoperability. To have multidisciplinary teams come on board, to sit down and have a collective decision making in terms of treatment plans, in terms of analyzing data and the diagnosis that's given for a patient. Because most of the treatment plans revolves around the report that's provided by the pathologist.
Okay.
And it is very important to reduce the variability in terms of interpreting this data. And that is why we have whole slide imaging systems where there are highly reproducible, high resolution images, which reduces the influence of subjective differences in terms of interpretation.
Of course.
And also minimizes the discrepancies. And leveraging the advancements of AI technologies, it enables efficient and unbiased evaluation of data.
That's key. So
that's key. And having said this and having all of this in one ecosystem, we have multidisciplinary teams that again being said for collaborating. And it is very important that each of these specialities work in tandem.
Okay.
And it's very important to also have digital pathology seamlessly integrate into the existing workflows without disrupting patient care.
Okay. So do you think the region here specifically has reached that stage? And how would you say the leadership of the region is reacting in the adoption of this? Because I know there are several conversations that's been happening in automating and digitizing and, of the healthcare itself. It's sort of like a revolution that's being adopted. So what are your thoughts as a person in the industry on those things?
The government initiatives are all about streamlining workflows for improved patient outcomes. And the Middle Eastern government has pulled off strategies to enhance this. And they have done a lot in this field to integrate digital pathology into the healthcare ecosystem.
Okay.
And leveraging AI advancements and imaging technologies to improve to modernize the healthcare infrastructure, again with one vision in mind. Improved patient outcomes,
of course,
tailored patient treatment plans. And as long as the vision of each organization is attached to the value proposition of a patient,
of course,
overcoming any challenge in terms of adopting this infrastructure is not going to be a challenge. Yes, adopting digital pathology does come with its own, I wouldn't say limitations, I would rather phrase it as challenges, which happens in adopting any other healthcare technology.
Of course, yeah.
But all of these concerns can be addressed with time. Although pathology is not quite at the forefront yet, but it's moving there.
Moving there. That's a symbol of hope for sure.
Definitely, yes. And also, one of the important aspects in terms of adopting digital pathology is developing a mindset to bring in new technologies without any fear in mind, because digital pathology is not about replacing pathologists, or it does not mean less pathologists and less expertise required. That myth has to be broken down.
Yeah, true.
So it's more of augmenting human expertise for enhanced diagnostic accuracy and for precise diagnosis.
Yeah. And I think in this region especially, there's a lot of interest in developing this kind of this thing. And the government itself is very eager to have that self-sufficiency into play in terms of healthcare especially. So I think with that last point of yours, we can close the topic of discussion. How you said the patient outcare is what is on the priority, right? And
that definitely is.
And that's where the pathologists, the enhancing the role of the pathologist with the right tools. And that's where digital pathology comes into play.
End of the day, it's all about leveraging human expertise.
Exactly.
And that's what digital pathology is all about.
Yeah. So you heard it. There is no point in no amount of automation or digitization that can replace the human element of it. So thank you so much, Divya, for weighing
My
in
pleasure,
for this topic. And you have put everything very eloquently. And thank you. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you've had a good session as well. This is Malavika Kanara signing off. Biotech Talk, powered by Leader Life Sciences. Thank you.